Welcome to the 10-Minute Bible Hour podcast. Right now, we're going through the entire Bible to understand it as one big, cohesive story. We're covering one book each day, and this one's about 2 John.
The book of 2 John is a follow-up letter to the book of 1 John, which is presumably written by John the disciple, John the son of Zebedee, John the guy who wrote the Gospel of John, John the guy who wrote Revelation. According to all the earliest sources, that's the John who wrote it. What we know for sure is whoever it was, it's the same guy who wrote 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, because it's all dealing with the same situation. And the same situation is that some false teachers came into some churches in Asia Minor, probably around Ephesus, and they started messing with the Christians there and teaching some dualistic Greek philosophy about light and darkness. And that philosophy couldn't contain what the account of Jesus was. It wasn't compatible with Jesus. So these false teachers started saying, no, he never really had a physical body. The physical world is bad. Physical things are evil. So no, it had to be that Jesus was just a spirit who looked like an actual body. They're trying to force Jesus into their Greek philosophical presuppositions. And it might sound like it's just an absurd little philosophical debate like freshman year of college or something, but it turns out it actually has really far-reaching implications, and it derails these Christians and rattles them, and they're not sure what to make of things anymore. And they're looking at these false teachers and they're like, wait, are they Christians and we're not? Or are we Christians and they're not? Or is Christianity even a thing? And so in a very grandfatherly, gentle way, in these 3 letters, John comes along and reassures them and equips them with a 3-fold test for whether or not you're in Christ, or whether or not the false teachers are in Christ. And the questions to consider are truth, obedience, and love. If those 3 things are present, well, then you're probably in Christ. If those 3 things aren't, then whatever is producing not truth, not obedience, and not love, well, that can't be Jesus. In 2 John, those exact same themes are repeated, but here what we're getting is a personal letter with specific instructions about what to do when these false teachers show up. And it's an incredibly short book, so the easiest way for me to relay the content to you is just to read it to you. Here we go. This letter's from John the Elder. I'm writing to the chosen lady and to her children, whom I love in the truth, as does everyone else who knows the truth, because the truth lives in us and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace, which come from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Son of the Father, will continue to be with us who live in truth and love. How happy I was to meet some of your children and find them living according to the truth, just as the Father commanded. I'm writing to remind you, dear friends, that we should love one another. This is not a new commandment, but one we've had from the beginning. Love means doing what God has commanded us, and He's commanded us to love one another, just as you heard from the beginning. I say this because many deceivers have gone out into the world. They deny that Jesus Christ came in a real body. Such a person is a deceiver and an antichrist. Watch out that you don't lose what we've worked so hard to achieve. Be diligent so that you'll receive your full reward. I say this because many deceivers have gone out into the world. They deny that Jesus Christ came in a real body. Such a person is a deceiver and an antichrist. Watch out that you don't lose what we've worked so hard to achieve. Be diligent so that you receive your full reward. Anyone who wanders away from this teaching has no relationship with God, but anyone who remains in the teaching of Christ has a relationship with both the Father and the Son. If anyone comes to your meeting and doesn't teach the truth about Christ, don't invite that person into your home or give any kind of encouragement. Anyone who encourages such people becomes a partner in their evil work. I have much more to say to you, but I don't want to do it with paper and ink, for I hope to visit you soon and talk with you face to face. Then our joy will be complete. Greetings from the children of your sister, chosen by God. And that's it. So you can see the repetition of the 3-fold test from back in 1 John. You can see additional specificity as to what exactly is wrong with these false teachers. You can see John saying firmly, hey, I'm the spiritual leader of this church. I'm your spiritual father, and I'm telling you, I'm giving you my blessing to reject this teaching outright. It's not true, so it violates part one of the threefold test of whether you're in Christ, but it's going to lead you to violate the other parts, that being obedience and love. No, don't even welcome them into your home. Don't encourage them, because John is saying he views what they're doing as being legitimately destructive and not just some other flavor of Christ following, but completely off the mark and something the Christians there are to reject entirely. As harsh as it might sound, when you visualize 2 John, picture a closed door, one that is closed to false teachers who would come and prey on these Christians. When you think about the theme, reflect on rejecting false teachers and holding to the truth that produces obedience and love. And when it comes to 2 John, we all have time to read the whole thing. 2 John leveled up, but this set of circumstances is not yet resolved, and 3 John is going to take us deeper into it next time around. I'm Matt. This is the 10-Minute Bible Hour Podcast. Let's do this again soon.
This podcast is supported by many of you at patreon.com/the TMBH podcast. We're grateful because it supports our family.